4 Detroit Lions went out yesterday. And 3 of them were major starters. One of them was a major special teams piece. So the other major starter has now held out hope. Now, that starter is David Montgomery. David Montgomery was rumored to be done for this season, but he spoke with Danny Rogers, and he told her that he hopes to play again this season. He said he hopes. And with them not putting him on injured reserve, I would say that at least that hope is somewhere in the realm of possibility. The way that he said it, though, I don't know, but we're going to get into how much of that is going to affect the Detroit Lions going forward. So let's just start off with it. And like I said, when some more people get in here, we will play the sound and we will react to that. Let's talk about the running back room in Detroit. There has been a lot of talk about who is going to replace David Montgomery. You have a contingency of Lions fans who would like it to be Sione Vaki, of course, because he's the shiny new toy. He's the rookie. You drafted him in the 4th round for a reason. He's dynamic. He played offense and defense in college. I believe he was mostly a defender, a safety, and when they had injuries and things of that nature at running back, he put his hand up and said he'll play. Then we have Craig Reynolds, and we know Craig Reynolds. Shout out Netflix. I've been watching a lot of Netflix recently. I get into these stages where I start binging things. So shout out Netflix. I generally don't try to go straight to Netflix. You know, I'm not really an Amazon Prime guy. They have a couple of good shows, but I'll go to Hulu. I'll go like everywhere. HBO Max. I go to all of them. And then we just came back to Netflix. So I'm on my Netflix thing these days. So Craig Reynolds. What is up, though, Lions fans? I interrupted today's video just to tell you a little bit about our sponsors. And our sponsors are none other than you, the people. If you want to become a supporter, a fan of the channel, just go ahead and scan that QR code right there on the screen. You don't have to do it, but what I would like you to do, smash that like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notifications so you can get notified when the Motor City Cats are back at it. And now, let's get back to the show. Craig Reynolds is solid. He's dependable. Nah, he does have a few fumbles here and there, but we know what we're getting from Craig Reynolds. I heard someone say today, shout out Woodward Heavyweights, which reminds me, I got to text Easy. Hold on, let me text him right quick. See if he's coming on the show tomorrow. Because I know I will forget, and that'll just be it. All right. So the bat signal is sent. We'll see if Batman responds. So the issue, I heard someone say, and I think it was Chris, who said that there was a 7th round rookie running back last season that contributed to a Super Bowl run with the Kansas City Chiefs, and obviously he was talking about Isaiah Pacheco. So my thing is, yeah, well, Isaiah Pacheco did do that, and he was drafted in the 7th round, and that's not really what matters. That's not really the point, whether he was a rookie and drafted in the 7th round or not. Isaiah Pacheco did it all season. We're talking about Sione Vaki coming into a season where 14 games have already been played. There are 3 remaining, and then there's the playoffs. That's where I look at Sione Vaki What are you talking about, K Express? That's where I look at Sione Vaki and I go, I'm not quite sure that I'd want to throw him into this type of situation. I do want to see him. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's so many ideas that I have floating around in my head about what he could do. I mean, if you watched his highlights from college, I mean, Sione Vaki on the wheel route was dangerous. And you put Sione Vaki and Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield together, I mean, it's going to give, first of all, it's going to give teams problems because they haven't seen it. They haven't seen Sione. So they don't really know what he's able to do, what he's capable of. It's just like when you play a rookie quarterback for the first time, and this is like his first game of the season as an NFL quarterback, you don't have any film on him. So if you put Sione Vaki into the game, you don't really have any film on him. I mean, you can go back and look at a few snaps here and there in the preseason, but that's not really enough information for you to accurately game plan for Sione Vaki. So really, if you see him in the backfield alongside Jahmyr Gibbs, it's an element of surprise. We're going to talk a little bit about Ben Johnson and his role in all of this a little bit later as well. So while I want to see Sione Vaki, while I know that there's a lot of mismatches and problems that can be caused by having both Jahmyr Gibbs and Sione Vaki in the backfield, and I'm not talking about just specifically Sione Vaki, because if you put Sione Vaki in the backfield by himself, it doesn't matter if you have tape or not, there's either going to be a run or a pass. But if you put it back there with Jahmyr Gibbs, right, you don't know how extensive his route tree is, what is his blocking acumen, what are they going to do? You're going to key in on Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously. He leads the Detroit Lions in rushing with 1047, right? 1,047 yards. You're going to key in on him, but with Vaki, it's just that unknown. So that's what I'm saying, particularly putting both of them in the backfield together. I think that would cause defenses some problems, and especially a defense like Chicago, which I did say, okay, we've seen that since Eberflus has been fired, the defense has looked worse. And I did say that you guys have to remember that not only did they fire their head coach in Matt Eberflus, they fired their defensive coordinator as well in Matt Eberflus. And that defense has not looked good at all. Just like yesterday, the score was 30-12. It could have been 37-12 or 37-6. Like, we don't know what would have happened throughout the game had Justin Jefferson not dropped a pass, which is very uncharacteristic. You don't see Justin Jefferson drop passes. He dropped an easy touchdown pass. I mean, obviously he would have had to beat his man to the pylon, but that's what he was looking at. He was just took his eye off the ball for a split second, turned to run before he actually caught the pass. So Just a Fan says, too many Lions fans are so depressed that they have fantasy dreams. Vaki will not be a running back for Lions right now, in my opinion, or he would have been in there by now. I mean, just so I don't think you're wrong. As far as Vaki, remember he is a rookie, and we saw Amon-Ra St. Brown take a while as a rookie to get worked into the offense, as a starter, right? He was one of the people that, yes, he was drafted in the 4th round, but you were counting on him to come in and have an impact. You look at Jahmyr Gibbs last year. I mean, that's the perfect comparison, the perfect example, because we're talking about the same position. When Jahmyr Gibbs came in last year, he wasn't used right away the way that we thought that he would be used or that we wanted him to be used, and myself for sure. wanted to see Jahmyr Gibbs. You know what I mean? I wanted to see Jahmyr Gibbs. I've been calling for Jahmyr Gibbs to have that Javid Best run against the Bears on Monday night in 2013, where he just took it straight up the middle for 80 yards and the roof just got blown off the top of Ford Field. Like I've been calling for that since game one in Jahmyr Gibbs' career. But with Jahmyr Gibbs, Sonic and Knuckles, that combination, you weren't gonna get too much of any Vaki getting worked in anyway in the first place. That's just what it was. So now that Knuckles is down, and maybe not for the season, as we said, now that he is down, that's the question. Are you working in Vaki or are you working in Craig Reynolds? I 100% believe it's going to be Craig Reynolds. If you came for all the stats and none of the static, if you're trying to keep your Lions news pragmatic, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can get notified when the Motor City Cats are back at it. And plus, you know you can't get enough of the victory buffs.